We must commend Honorable Ablakwa for the diligent and very, let me say, detailed investigations. Yes, it's commendable because you see, what we are often lacking is, parliamentarians really holding government to account. And I see this particular investigation as one that is to be commended, so that other MPs, of course, Kujoto Ablakwa didn't do it alone. He says the minority caucus, right, were spearheading it, and he was detailed to do it, yeah, right. So we would love to see more. We would love to see more. So the key thing, apart from commending them, is that at least so far we've shown, all right, or they have shown through the investigations that Akufo-Addo's company purportedly gave the National Cathedral a loan, right?
Well, that's been established. The cathedral's own statement,
yes,
actually corroborates that.
Good. So the point I'm making about it is that for the executive secretary to be given a loan at this time and in such circumstances, you see, it's very curious. What we do is that it doesn't matter the final outcome. I always say that, you see, in strengthening our democracy, sometimes the conversations alone have a very positive impact. The conversations, just like what we're doing here, have a positive impact because they deter like-minded people. So, yes, you can go into the Shraj investigations and win, but certain things will never go away. We'll see that there's something wrong. And there will always be that stigma that this is what you did. So that's the value that I'm talking about, the value of the stigma in trying to deter others. So I'm saying that it doesn't matter what will come out from Shraj. It doesn't, right? But so far, what will go on, even beyond Shraj, is that, so is this what Reverend Akufo-Addo did? You see, and that's what I'm saying, that so not the merits, not going into the merits of the case. Yes, as a lawyer, usually I want to stay away from the merits. So I'm just looking at the ones that he himself has accepted. Do you see it? That's all that I'm talking about. So that for the conflict, the other things, yes, let Shraj go on, right? But the unassailable facts, the uncontested facts, so you're like, how? An account that was zero. That's what so far it shows, right? And then government gives you such a sum of money. And then next thing, you are giving the cathedral project a loan. Obviously, in everybody's mind, this doesn't add up. It doesn't matter what is before Shraj. These are separate things. It doesn't add up. It doesn't, right? Yes. And so that is the message that as citizens we should watch. That, hey, in doing these things, we should always watch that there would be others watching. Okay, people may be trailing us, people may be trying to investigate, people may be trying to dig, so that we can stop the things that don't make our democracy a stronger one. Because in all of these conversations, the common theme is that we want to hold public officers accountable. We want to make citizens better, because all too often we find our citizens and also as public officers, the conducts we exhibit are usually below par. They don't move the nation forward. That's the whole team. That's the overarching team. They don't move the nation forward. And what we are all eager to do is to move this nation forward in every aspect of life. So you see that, and so it's kind of become good riddance at a time when the cathedral project is come under so much attack, and rightfully so, because you see that it shows, especially with the government spending on the cathedral, it shows that the government has gotten its priorities wrong, extremely wrong, because at the time they went to the Supreme Court, you read the Supreme Court decision, they say,
Bright Equity.
No, I'm talking about the cathedral matter.
Okay.
Which other Supreme Court matter?
Oh, the one Bright Equity sued.
Challenging
the construction.
Okay, as he did it.
Yes.
Oh, okay, lawyer. Okay, I haven't noticed that it's Bright Equity. So this Mayor Agles there. Yes. Okay, so the lawyer was Equity. All right, great. So you see that you read the Supreme Court judgment. They tell the Supreme Court that government is giving land. Government is giving land, right? And then so far Then you see that years on, government is pumping in money. Government is pumping in money. Then you see that, oh, so even the Supreme Court itself has been deceived. You don't do that. Please do full disclosure. If you intended to put in fiscal cash, and of course, I'm not belittling the money. You see that the land alone, the value of the land is run into hundreds of, millions of Ghana cedis, right? Yes, because even one of the companies that's suing for the demolitions is suing for about 120 million Ghana. Yes, that's just one. Look at the judges' bungalows that were demolished, fresh bungalows. Some had barely been used. Then you look at the other areas at this time. You see, so this investigation has just come, that's why I'm calling it good riddance. It's come to add force to the argument that government has gotten its priorities wrong with this cathedral. I think we are all Christians. Look, I'm a Catholic. So if you say you want to build a church, that's not a problem. But the point is that where and at what cost? At what cost? And I think Honorable Okujeto and Sam George, Honorable Dafia Meko, most of the MPs, they've come to make the point that why wouldn't you stretch it out over some of the cathedrals have been shown to have been built over several decades. So every year you should have a plan, but not rush like this, because so far we've put in over 200 million Ghana cedis of government funds. Is that not so?
Yes.
Yes. And so that is where the pain is coming from. So this investigation is good because it's kind of fuel the conversation, still holding government to account, naming and shaming government that no, we are not taking this. We are not taking this. Not at this time. How means build? It's as if the land is not sufficient when we know that this land alone is costing hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis. You see? So let Shraj continue, but for us in the public space, we've already taken lessons and we are sending what do you call it? Warnings to the people in charge of the cathedral that look, it's not too late. Sometimes we all make mistakes. You can cut back, you can look at the thing, go back to the drawing board, look at it and say, okay, yes, we've heard what the people are saying, so perhaps we want to make some changes. We will no longer take government funds. You see, just like what the MPs did admirably in the budget by resisting the use of the 80 million or the earmark of 80 million cedis for the cathedral project, right? They fought it, and then that had to be shifted from the budget, from the cathedral project to the Ministry of Roads and Transport, right? So we'll call on the board of directors of the National Cathedral Project. They should listen. It's not that we are antichrist, so we need to, no, but we are looking at the economic realities. God doesn't always have to dwell in big palatial buildings. No, he's in our hearts. How much of our hearts have we converted that we are busy looking for big buildings? If we had converted so much of our hearts, I'm sure Ghana would have been a far better place. Far better place. But it looks like we are interested in fiscal buildings and monuments and all those to say we are worshiping God. You know, we are deep down within our hearts. We are far from God. Because if we really were, this country wouldn't be here. This country wouldn't be here. You say, so when you find citizens kicking against it, it's because of all the decades of the failed promises. So you look at it and you think, oh, it's just a cathedral project. No, it's not, but it's an insult, so it appears. It's a slap in the face of the Ghanaian that, oh, we give you power, Mr. President, and you're coming to give your personal promise to God. You're making it a national project. I mean, how?
But which aspects of this whole petition, I mean, should be of interest to Shraj? I mean, Okujeto Ablakwa is asking for specific detail, but this, as you indicated, goes beyond just the investigation. What would Shraj be interested in going on this part of the investigation about this particular cathedral, and what's Okujeto Ablakwa's petition about?
Okay, so what he's saying is, as far as I understand, the conflict of interest part, right? So, you are made executive secretary of a national cathedral project. Then you bring your company privately and say the company is lending money to the National Cathedral project. Now, what are the various, procedures that have been gone through, right? The disclosures and all that. And especially you see the names, the differences in the names. The Eshen, you see the priest, the reverend. It turns out that those are his junior pastor, right? The company directors, blah, blah, blah. So he begins to tell a certain story. Is that how you would conduct business? How did it come up that amongst all the companies in the world, straight away it was this company, his junior pastor's company? You see, they put the name in there, he and the wife, a junior pastor and the wife being directors of the company. How come of all the companies in the world? How is it that the National Cathedral put out a notice, we want a company to lend us money, on what basis? So you see that it's all not clear.
And in fact, the third director of this company is the Kwabena Dujenfi.
He himself.
The third, the identity of the same person.
Perfect. So he uses his other name. So those are the things that the Shraj will be looking at. So let's say your subordinate's wife, then you yourself. That's in the other name, in the other identity. Why? Why such a thing? And you never know these things. The more we dig, then the more other things will come out. And so that is seriously a matter that has to be investigated. Yes, it has. For it will strengthen our democracy. As I keep saying, at least you see the conversation it has generated. It has generated. So it's always like, okay, hey, Ghanaians, let's be careful. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. Yes, because we need to keep preaching it, because you see that, as I said earlier on, we don't seem to be changing. We seem to be reading the Bible every day. Look, even you go to some workplaces during working hours, people are reading Bible. We've been taught Bible from childhood till date, but still, I don't know. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, what kind of people are we?
There's no attitudinal transformation.
Yes, we've read the Bible, son. Look at the president, starting from him. I'm too old to steal your money. This. I come in nahi. Then you come, then you put your brother as finance minister. Every CD we borrow, then your family becomes rich through data bank. Then I'm like, what? You see, so this is Alfred, and there's this interesting part, and it's very important because it's still coming to our ethics, that we had long thrown our ethics to the dogs, but we just keep deceiving ourselves. Because you see, yesterday somebody sent something here, enticing. Because if I were the president, and by now you ask Reverend Kusi Boateng to step aside, he just has to go. No, but the president, as usual, he hasn't heard. Look at this. And enticing, because he's the one, like we say, a fish rots from his head. Look, I have how many? 18 very notable quotes from the president. Please, let's run through. Then you get a summation of the National Cathedral in Ghana. 1, I shall protect the public purse. 2, I'm too old to steal your money. I have my money already. 3, Alfred, wait, let me just finish. Now, so, no, try me and see. 5, I'm not corrupt, and I will never be corrupt. When was the last time he could repeat that statement? 6, I can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is here. 7, I will transform Ghana in 18 months. 8, I will not operate a family and friends government. Well, the jury is out there. 9, I will fight corruption with the ANAS principle. 10, I will make the Kole Lagoon and Odo River a tourist site. 11, I will build a factory in every district. 12, I will give each constituency 1 million every year. Well, we should find out today. 13, I will arrest the dollar. Great. 14, the hikes in fuel prices will be a thing of the past. Okay. 15, I will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. 16, I will build 111 hospitals in 18 months. 17, I will build 350 secondary schools. 18, we will never go to the IMF for a bailout. So you see, that's...
Well,